Hello everyone, Brandon Montemayor here with Montemayor Associates, your number one real estate resource. So this week we are going to talk about solar, all right? It's a topic that comes up a lot. We get a lot of questions about it, and we're not necessarily going to talk about whether or not solar adds value to your home. If you look back at a few of our other videos, we did a video on that, and you can go back and reference that. But we're going to talk today about whether or not you should just do it. All right, and what those scenarios look like. So let's jump right in. All right, so I think when we're talking about solar, we got to look at a few things. But first, I think there's two main things we got to look at. First, we got to look at, do you plan on living in your home for the short term or for more of a long-term type situation? So for people who are looking to stay in a home for a long time, they say, I'm only coming out of here if I'm going out in a box, all right? I have a lot of clients like that don't plan on leaving anytime soon. Solar is a great thing, all right? And we'll come back to, does it make more sense to jump into a lease, to own solar in a second, right? But that's long term. So in most cases, if you are long term, solar is going to make sense. We just got to decide which route to go. If you are thinking more short term, all right, only going to be in the house for another year to 5 years, all right, then it really comes down to, can you afford to put solar on the house and purchase it? Because what we're seeing, and again, it's not the end of the world if you've done it or if you're doing it or whatever, but solar leases, there's some uncertainty with buyers right now stepping in. They don't like to take on other people's leases in many cases. And again, we've sold a ton of houses with solar leases, some as early on to the process as a few months that have, 20, 25-year terms on them still left over, and we still got it done. But it's easier if you are thinking about selling the next few years. A solar lease might not be the way to go if you want to make sure that you appeal to everybody out there, right? Own solar, they'll take it all day long, all right, because there's no additional payments that come with it. It's an immediate savings, especially if they didn't have to invest in the system, all right? So that's one way to look at it. Now, if we have decided that we want to put solar in and we are staying long term, now we've just got to look at what type of income we're bringing in. And what I mean by that is, do you have a relatively fixed income where and some money in reserves or no money in reserves? So if we have a relatively fixed income and some money in reserves and can afford to make an investment into our house that will bring our electric bill down to nothing, that's a great thing to pour a chunk of money into it right now and realize those savings over a long period of time, right? If we don't have a ton of money in our pocket but have a kind of a very consistent type of income, and we got a lot of our people who are law enforcement, teachers, or any job out there where it's non-commission based and you kind of make the same amount every month, every year, right, with gradual increases, right? A lease is great because it can take your electric payment, kind of normalize it, put it at a very, consistent amount, and then ensure that in those heavy months during the summer out here, especially out here in Santa Clarita, where it gets up into the hundreds, we're constantly running AC, or if you have a pool, it'll make sure that we really get to appreciate and take in a huge savings during those months. So that's our thoughts on solar. If you have any questions, comments, let us know, and we'll talk to you soon. Have a good one.